Hey everyone, and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. Today we are getting at something a little bit different. Battle for Azeroth has brought a ton of new creatures into the game, but in a rather unexpected turn it has also updated many of the game's existing creatures, some of which have been in the game since the very beginning, and this lets us do a really good art comparison between now and then. And really few things show this change of detail like the new versus old prairie dog model. Now what we broadly see here is a massive increase in texture resolution and polygon count, combined with, interestingly, slightly less saturated colours. This I think gets at an early part of World of Warcraft's life. When you're texturing a model with a really low polygon count, you run into issues when it comes to things like shading, as well you're limited by texture size, especially when it's 2004, you don't have the most modern engine to work with even for those days. Plus Blizzard's art style, I think it wasn't as tightly defined back then as it is now. Now, I'm not an artist, but I do work, in my game studio, and I work with a few there, so I ran this video through them to ensure that I wasn't talking complete rubbish. Now, from a technical perspective, there are sort of just the stuff relating to, say, lighting that the team can do now that they couldn't do previously, so I would imagine that having less saturated models keeps the creatures sort of able to take on the atmosphere of the zone, the lighting of the zone in which they're placed. Perhaps a little bit like shooting a video in a flat color format so that it can be graded later. Now, I imagine way back in the day as well, 2004, people are playing on a square monitor, a low resolution, and it's a TN panel with terrible color reproduction. Perhaps having more saturated colors would have helped there, would have helped the visual, just being able to see things pop out of the screen and actually tell what's going on. I know one thing, interestingly, that they do at Hi-Res Studios is the art department often reviews work under terrible lighting conditions, including like fluorescent lights, because they know their game is going to be played in a manner of situations where the art needs to be readable. So that's kind of an interesting thought. Now, one thing we do see in Battle for Azeroth itself is an increase to the minimum system requirements, and it's not a small bump either. RAM requirements have doubled from to a minimum of 4, recommended of 8. Now, interestingly, they're also now recommending that the game is installed on an SSD. If you'd like to see some benchmarks, you can check out what I did a while back with Western Digital. Of course, that was a sponsored thing, but this can be replicated on, any reliable SSD. Now, GPU requirements and CPU requirements have also bumped up quite a bit too, and the game is going to support DirectX 12. So I'm very keen to see if DirectX 12 will lead to better hardware utilization, because man, World of Warcraft, it does run on almost everything, but it runs well on, almost nothing. But getting back to the video, what's interesting here is that it is the new Blizzard art pipeline being applied to the more traditional creature designs. Now, if you have a look at the Battle for Azeroth content, you can really see all of this new stuff shine, and my personal favorite are probably the big wicker monsters that will be coming across, I believe, in Drustvar. Especially love the use of lighting with those guys. But across the board, though, things, I think they look kind of amazing. You've got Cthulhu-inspired corrupt humans, you've got some really dark-looking blood trolls with, I think, some really amazing, just punchy tattoos and blood marks, and some really pretty damn metal-looking gear. So overall, Battle for Azeroth itself is really shaping up to look quite fantastic, perhaps a little bit more unique than Legion. While, Legion was thematically very strong, it's demons, right? And then you've got zones like Val'sharah, Zuna, Stormheim, the kind of graphical bumps over things that we've seen, pretty much. In Battle for Azeroth, I think we are getting, we're sort of getting some really new feeling styles, I suppose. Now, for the main point of this video, though, it's showing how the art has improved over time, so that's why the focus is on comparing, say, a gorilla from 2004 and a gorilla from 2017. As much as the 2017 gorilla might not look like the most amazing thing ever in comparison to a massive, wicker golem, it does sort of provide this base level of comparison between everything, so we can really just see sort of how far they've come. But that's enough of my babbling, and I'm just going to let the rest of the footage roll. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.